Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the Reliatronic Fidget Hand Spinner. This is an item that seems to have hit the market pretty big recently. They are designed for kids that have a little bit of autism, or maybe some attention deficit disorder, or maybe just some excess energy, or you just need to occupy their time for a little bit. So here's the box. It tells us we can use it at work, we can use it in class, we can use it at home. It's going to depend on what class you're in as to whether or not they're going to allow you to use that or not. Here on this little sticker is the only place we actually see the brand name. So it's Reliatronic Fidget Hand Spinner. It's red. We flip this over and we can actually see it. So this is an item that I am somewhat familiar with, as you can see from the background. I do have a white one from another company, glow in the dark one, and even a metal one. So I have something to compare this with. So let's go ahead and open it up. Pop it out of plastic. So right off the bat I can see that this is an injection molded one, which is good. Some of the ones on the market are 3D printed. Those tend to have some balance problems, and you can see a lot of lines in here where the printer goes back and forth and prints them. So they're not the nicest looking. I mean, they're not bad looking, but definitely having the nice, smooth, rounded plastic it's a more finished look. It's got a decent weight to it, and I like that, like most of them, it does have the center caps here. It just helps to shield that center bearing. So these items can actually be used in a couple different ways. The most obvious way is you grab it by the middle and you give it a spin. So I can tell from this first spin that the bearing is fairly smooth. I'm not feeling a lot of grittiness or anything. And it's actually fairly well balanced. It's not moving around a whole lot around the bearing. So they've actually done a pretty good job with this one. We're actually going to go head to head here with some of these other ones in just a moment. But yeah, this is spinning pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and stop that. So the weights out here on the ends, these are also bearings. They just don't have the caps on them. So in theory, if your hand's big enough, you can hold it and swing them around this way too. And on most of them, you can pop these bearings out. So if you wanted to reduce some of the weight when you're using it in this mode, you can. They just simply push out, snap back in. There's no real need to take those out for this though. Okay. And then you can usually pop these caps off. Of course, this one's going to be a little difficult. Just trying to show you the bearing underneath. There we go. So there's the bearing in this one. This one is actually a much smaller bearing than I'm used to. But it is a very smooth ball bearing. So this one, because of that size, would not work too well if you were to take both the caps off and try to do this without the caps. For a size comparison, pop the cap off of this one. So here's the bearing on that one, here's the bearing on that one. So this one you could do it without the cap. This one not so much, but I usually use these with the caps. It keeps grit and stuff out of the bearing, and it just gives you a nicer surface to hold on to. and because of the slightly concave surface here, you can get them spinning, and then you can balance them on your finger. Like a little gyroscope. And just like a gyroscope, they tend to start to move around and wobble a little bit, but they stay fairly steady. So when you get kind of that gyroscopic effect, when you try to move it, it resists wanting to move, and you can kind of feel that. So definitely neat little toys to play with. They can also be done one-handed. You can just kind of sit there and flick it and let it go as you need to. So it can be done one-handed, two-handed, whatever best suits your needs. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put both of these together. We're going to give them a little spin, and we're going to see which one does better. This white one is actually one of the least performing ones that I have. The bearing on it is a little rough. It doesn't run very long. So let's see how they do. One of them hit my fingers here. Let's try that again. Yeah, it makes for an interesting look in the camera, that's for sure. You can see that the white one is slowing down already. So the red one is doing much better than my worst performer. And I think that's pretty good to show that the red one's a lot better. So up until now, this one has been my best performer. So let's see how these two do. And this is just for comparison. I mean, in honesty, my daughter has snitched this one from me because she likes the glow-in-the-dark one. So this is the one that she uses. So I use this one a lot. I also tend to use the metal one a lot. So even though I say it's my worst performer, it is still perfectly usable. So not to be a ding on any of these devices, but just for comparison, let's see how. Keep hitting my finger back here when I try to do this. Trying to be fair, so let's try this again. There we go. These both run nice and smooth. I do like the look of the red one though. It's a little bit easier to kind of see as it's spinning around in your hand than the white or the glow-in-the-dark ones. So right now I'd say both of these look fairly evenly matched. If you get these spinning really good, they can go for a long time. I do kind of a moderate spin just to get a good feel for how it's doing. And it looks like I might have a new best performer. Because this red one is definitely still going and the glow-in-the-dark one is slowing down. So yeah, this is impressive. I wonder if using that smaller bearing has got something to do with it, because that has beat it by a mile. Alright, so that's good enough to show that. So even though both of these look almost identical except for the color, if I pop this off, you're going to see that this is also has a big bearing in it. So yeah, this is really impressive. Nice, smooth, easy to spin, spins for a long time. So overall, I'm quite pleased with this. And I just have to keep my daughter from snitching this one from me too. So there you go. That is a look at the Reliatronic Fidget Hand Spinner. So The only recommendation I would make would be for them to kind of like screen print their name on here somewhere, so that we know, what brand it is. But it seems to be fairly common that none of them do it. The only one that has a name on it is the metal one, but I'm not going to show it to you because that's not the point of this video. But if you have any questions or anything, post it in the comments. I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching, and appreciate a like and a subscribe. Thank you.